Well, Hard Knocks training camp with the Oakland Raiders is a wrap. We just watched this season finale.
Yeah.
So, Hard Knocks fans, Oakland Raiders fans, are you ready for our final review of the season? Knock on wood if you're with us.
Come on, let's go.
All right, so we're going to get right into the cuts that we saw in this season finale. Sean, what was your biggest surprise cut?
Man, I know the biggest surprise has to be Keelan Doss.
Keelan Doss got cut?
That was shocking.
Listen, we were watching that last preseason game against Seattle. He had a couple of drops.
Yeah.
But he got it going later on in the game.
Oh, yeah. He looked great. And even Jon Gruden went up to him after the game and says, you know what? He gave him a hug, said, I'm your biggest fan, all the above. And it looked like this guy was going to make the team.
This was a fan favorite, not just for the Oakland Raiders, but anybody who's watching Hard Knocks, anybody who likes a good story. Yeah. I mean, this guy is a hometown kid.
Undrafted.
He was making plays. I was just thinking, like, what did he fail to do? Like, what more could he have done? Because all we've seen from him was making plays and everything like that.
And even Jon Gruden said, every time we throw him the ball, he catches it.
So why not cut Ryan Grant? Like I'm thinking, and keep Keelan Doss, because I feel like he's got so much more potential in him.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But they don't really go into detail. That's what sucks.
Right. But you know what? Nonetheless, the Oakland Raiders wide receiving corps is very well stacked, man.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to see how they perform in the regular season, and we'll see that Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos, which we will be streaming for.
Now, another surprise cut has got to be the veteran linebacker, Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall, Brandon Marshall, I cannot believe he got cut, man. I never would have thought that, but he was dealing with an issue. Yeah,
but he came back. He was fully healed, right? And he said now it did take him a while to get back on the practice field. He said that. He acknowledged that this is going to be tough. Yeah. He's fighting an uphill battle. But especially when you have a young team like this, getting a linebacker that's been in the Super Bowl and won it, that's huge. I think that what's the harm in getting a guy that can probably be a good leader for your team in a sense, right? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it was really shocking. You know, it sucks that it took him that long to rehab because he wasn't really able to show the Oakland Raiders what he had. So seeing a veteran get cut like that, you know, they were talking about it. The coaches. They were saying, you're a guy who's a vet. You know, you've won a Super Bowl before. You've constantly made the 53-man roster, and then you finally get that cut. And it hurts. It really hurts you.
It's like a little punch in the gut, right? Like you're like, damn, am I not good enough? And the crazy thing is the other players even said, they're like, wait, he's been practicing with the ones
Jonathan
this whole
Abram
time.
and Colin Farrell, they were talking about while they were fishing, which was late in the episode.
Yeah.
Abram was like, man, he was practicing with the ones the entire time. Like, what the hell?
Why was he practicing with the ones and then he got cut?
Yeah, but you know what? As of right now, he's currently a free agent. He hasn't been picked up by anyone. Yeah. But back to Keelan Doss, he got picked up by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He went there.
Yes.
And he joined their practice squad.
Which is shocking because from what I read, they didn't talk about this in the episode, but from what I've heard, that the Raiders offered him a practice squad, but he went to the Jags instead.
Yeah.
So that's kind of surprising.
So when Brandon Marshall got cut, we were both watching the episode. We're thinking, well, that means Kabinda is going to get a roster spot.
Because that's who they said they were competing, right, for that spot.
And, you know, he looked pretty good in that Seattle game. And we just love that how he's such a vocal leader.
Very, very vocal.
His mom's watching the game. I love Kabinda's mom.
I think she's a fan favorite. You see all the fans after the game. Let's tell your mom we said hi. Everybody loves her.
But he ended up getting cut.
That was another shocker.
What?
I'm so, like, kind of dumbfounded, but I don't know, man. I feel
like they signed another linebacker, right? Isn't that what they were saying? I think they signed another linebacker because they cut Kabinda, they cut Brandon Marshall.
No, I'm not sure. Though who I was talking about they signed was Keith Smith. That's a fullback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's who they signed. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Well, no. Paul Gunther, he sat down with Kabinda and he actually told him why. He said typically the roster they keep six, but they're keeping 4 this year.
Yeah.
Because of the high-powered offenses they have to deal with, especially the Chiefs. And they're probably going to go more defensive backs for nickel purposes and dime purposes, which is more defensive backs on the field. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Another cut was Luke Wilson, a guy that we've been following throughout the season from Canada. Mm-hmm. He won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. He played his last preseason game against Seattle.
Yeah.
He gets cut.
And this is another veteran that has made it to the Super Bowl and won it. So this is kind of weird. And then gets cut.
Yep. So let me say this too.
Yeah.
Watching this season finale, it finally hit me. Luke Wilson looks exactly like the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers when he was younger.
Yeah.
I should put a side-by-side picture right here of Luke Wilson and Anthony Kiedis, I forgot how you say his last name.
You showed it to me, and I was like, yeah, that looks exactly like Luke Wilson.
Jesus Christ.
They're like the same age. They were exactly the same.
But, those are the guys that we've been following throughout the season, and those are guys that got cut. Again, it was crazy to see Doss get cut.
Yeah.
Good thing he got picked up by someone. By the way, Kabenda, he did get picked up by Detroit.
Yes, your division rival, Josh.
Going to the North, the black and blue division.
Yeah.
Good, because you know what? He's a feisty dude. He's very vocal. Yeah. He seems like an NFC North guy.
And I can see him doing great over there. Detroit needs some linebackers, man. I like it. I like the move.
Wish all these guys the best of luck, man.
Yeah.
And wish them good health. And speaking of wishing people good health, Nathan Peterman.
Yes.
He looked good with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. Through every episode, it looked like he got better and better.
And what was
better.
What was the key thing?
Confidence.
Yep. Gruden was talking about it in this episode. He was talking about, you know what? Nathan Peterman, he's a good guy. He's a good talent. But with his experiences in Buffalo, you could tell he lost that mental edge. And, sports, what did they say? It's like 80% mental?
Yeah.
And he lost that. Yeah. And now he's just gaining his confidence back. And, he looked great in Oakland.
Oh, and then the worst thing happened, because I think it was probably going to be him that made the roster.
Yeah.
And he tore a ligament, right? And his elbow.
He got hit in that Seattle game.
Oh, and he played through it.
He had a touchdown drive.
Yeah, he had a touchdown drive, and he thought everything was fine in his elbow. It's just going to be sore. But they got an MRI done and saw it was a lot more serious, and he went on IR.
Yeah.
So they decided he's still on the team, but he's not on the 53-man roster.
And then they picked up Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ooh,
Ugh.
well,
Fuck.
I don't know why, but it is what it is. So that was just interesting.
Other things that were interesting about this episode, we got to go to Jon Gruden and Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, we just saw him practicing. He looked great, man.
Dude.
Man, did you see that? Keeping his feet in bounds?
Oh, yeah.
Keep dragging his foot.
He has not missed a beat, man. He's nothing's missing, dude. This guy, that's why I try to tell people, like, even though he's been missing practice and training camp, this guy's one of the hardest workers, right?
Yeah.
We all know it. He's proved it year after year.
He looks great right now.
He looks phenomenal,
and he's, in line to try to break the record for the most, 100 catches. He's tied right now at 6 100-catch seasons
with Brandon Marshall.
He's looking to break that this year. Can he do it with Derek Carr? And if he does do it, it's going to be consecutive seasons he did it.
And that nobody's ever done that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And
so,
wow.
You got to at least respect his work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
And you see his new helmet? You see his new helmet? That shit looks like a futuristic something.
You know what?
Like 2035.
Everybody was kind of like giving him a little bit of shit about it, but at the same time, they're like, it looks pretty badass.
It looks fucking awesome.
It looks pretty cool. Yeah,
all right, yeah.
Yeah, so I like it. So that's pretty much what they mainly focus on, the cuts and everything. No, but what is surprising is you heard what Gruden said at the end, that they are with a young team.
12 rookies made the roster, the 53-man roster.
Wow, that's, I think, 7 drafted and the rest undrafted. So that's crazy, man. You don't see that often.
Yep. Jon Gruden was great as always. I love those tidbits that they showed with him with the referees in the preseason game against Seattle.
He's a smart ass.
And as well as the very, very end when the credits were rolling, they were showing old footage of him back at Tampa. And he was talking to the refs. He was like, you know what, man? One of these days I'm going to be on HBO. HBO because talking as a broadcaster, because they let you cuss and say fuck, shit, bitch, whatever.
And he said, I'll be calling y'all asses out pretty much. Like he's so sarcastic, but it's fucking hilarious.
And what we thought was so funny was like, wouldn't that be cool if they would let you do that? I'm like, well, we do that.
We do that.
And we do that. And we do that on our play-by-plays of the NFL and NBA. Make sure you guys tune in for those. God. We'll be streaming that Raiders Broncos game on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, come hang out with us, guys.
But man, so overall on the season, what were your thoughts?
It felt like a little bit everywhere. I wish they would have emphasized a little bit more on Abrams and Farrell. We saw Farrell again. So we saw him in the very first episode, and then we saw him in the very last episode.
Hanging out with Jonathan Abram.
I mean, which I do like that. I like the rookies, building that chemistry. But I didn't like how they didn't emphasize them or show them more, and feature them more. I felt that's what I wish they would have done a little bit more, right? But I loved how they focused on Gruden. I did like that because Gruden's a character. I did like Keelan Doss, but I felt like they could have been a little bit more consistent with who they followed.
Right, and I think the reason why they did that is because there was just so many personalities that they wanted to showcase. Because you're getting Gruden every week. You know you're going to get something with Antonio Brown. Yeah. So they want to show a little bit of Abram. They want to show a little bit of Wilson. Yeah. And Kabinda and some of these other guys. But overall, this season I really enjoyed it, and I think above any other season I've ever watched of Hard Knocks, and I've watched them all, I think this is going to be one that sticks with me the most because of Jon Gruden, how hilarious he is.
That's true.
And, and the whole knock on wood if you're with me. I love that. I would be doing that for the rest of my life.
Use that for the rest of the... We're going to be definitely using that during the season.
So, overall, I like the season.
Not bad. Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I give it a 6 out of 10. Just because I wanted to see more of certain players, and I didn't get it.
But let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. We appreciate you guys tuning in for these reviews throughout the season. And good luck to the Raiders during the regular season. And knock on wood if you're with us.
Yeah.
Bye-bye!